Hi, parents! Before we start the episode, remember that your family can enjoy hundreds of fun and educational free videos for kids of all ages. Be sure to subscribe and get all the new shows and updates at PragerUkids.com. Welcome to Craftery by PragerU Kids. Crafts, history, and your questions. I'm Jill, and today we've got a project that'll soon be music to your ears. We're creating a paper flute that you can actually play to learn all about some of America's most famous marching band composers. Oh, we've got a question.
Did America create marching bands?
Great question. Marching bands have a big history in our military that dates back to 1756, when musicians marched with more than 1,000 men in the Regiment Artillery Company of Philadelphia, which was commanded by Colonel Benjamin Franklin. Eventually, marching bands started forming at colleges, and the oldest American college marching band was founded in 1845 at the University of Notre Dame. They played during college football games. After World War I, marching bands started popping up at high school football games when veterans started becoming teachers. Now, before I share with you some of the most popular marching band moments in our history, let's check out what we need to make our flute today. Thick paper, I'm using cardstock here, scissors, careful with these as always, and clear tape. That's it! Now, this seems like a simple craft, but do not be fooled. It actually takes a bit of fiddling with it to get it right. Who am I kidding? There aren't any fiddles in a marching band, but there are trumpets and tubas and drums and cymbals and saxophones and flutes, which is why we're making a flute today. Let's start by taking our paper and rolling it tightly. It's easy if you get thicker paper because it just makes the flute a little bit more steady. And we're gonna tape this seam right here, tightly. It's nice and tight, taped up so that it does not come apart. All right, very nice. I see you! Not making music yet, but soon. Now, we have the seams here. Flip it over so that the seams are on the bottom because this is how we're going to hold our flute. Now, we're going to need to squish our cylinder a little bit to make a rectangle hole about 1 inch from the top. And you're gonna cut through all layers of the paper. We're gonna make a little cut just like this. And then about 1 centimeter below that, another cut. Unsquish it. Ask a parent for help if you need some help. All the layers, there we go. So you can see right through it. This is the beginning of our flute. You should have a rectangle opening just like this now. Musically speaking, a march is a song that has a steady, regular rhythm meant for marching. The song is usually performed in what's called 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. A composer by the name of John Philip Sousa is recognized as the most iconic march composer in American history. He composed about 100 marches. Sousa formed his own military band in the 1890s and invented something called a sousaphone for his band, a type of bass tuba designed to circle the player's entire body. Now, what are some of Sousa's most favorite songs? Well, I'll bet you've heard of them. The Liberty Bell, which he wrote in 1893, that one right. And Stars and Stripes Forever, which he wrote in 1896. You know these songs. In 1987, Stars and Stripes Forever was named the official national march of the United States. Now, both of these songs are still used for special events, honoring America and our leaders, from presidential inaugurations to Independence Day fireworks shows. Let's get back to our flute here, shall we? It's time to create the Fipple. Fipple, 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 Fipple. Take your scissors very carefully, open them up, and you're going to insert them between the layers of paper at the very top of our flute. Or you can use your fingers too. Okay, so right here you have these little layers that we are peeling from the inside of the flute, because remember, we rolled up the paper. And you want to peel all the layers down. It does help if you use the scissors very carefully, just like this. And you're going to bend down these layers, all the layers, halfway, kind of in the shape of a little heart, kind of like that. The tricky part now is that the back part of our heart, we want to bend it back up so that the layers are closer to the top of the flute than right at the mouthpiece. There we go, so that it's kind of bent up. Kind of like that. So the back part of our Fipple is tilted towards the top, if you can see. And this front part of the Fipple right here is tilted down. So your top lip is going to go above this part, and your bottom lip is going to go right in this area here. And we're gonna try to blow air through to see if we can make a whistling sound. Ready? It might not work the first time. Is it working? If yours doesn't work, keep bending the back part of that Fipple and keep trying. Don't give up. There it is! Before we get to the next part, I want to tell you about another legendary patriotic composer. His name is Copeland. He was known as the Dean of American Music. Now, Copeland created a unique American style of music using classical, jazz, and folk. And one of his most legendary songs is Fanfare for the Common Man, which he wrote as a tribute to American soldiers during World War II. Copeland won a Pulitzer Prize, an Oscar, a Grammy, and a Presidential Medal of Freedom for his life's work making music. Let's finish our flute, yes?
Yay!
Yes, because we want to start making some music of our own. So, from this first rectangle, we count 3 or 4 finger widths down the tube. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to cut out another hole right here. You can see we're gonna bend that cylinder a little bit. 1, 2, 3 finger widths. And I'm gonna make a small V to cut a hole in our flute. You wanna make sure these holes are small so that your finger can block the air on top of it, because that's how we're gonna make our music. All the way through the layers. There we go. That's a small hole. Let's continue down the flute. Let's go for 3 holes. So we're gonna wanna reshape it. Okay, let's try my whistling again. Oh, gotta adjust the Fipple. Kinda? John Philip Sousa, we are ready for you. Are you ready to play in your own marching band?
Yay!
America's history has a strong connection with marching bands that honor our military, leaders, and special holidays and events. Music has been a part of our country's beloved culture and freedom since our founding. Next time you're at a parade or a patriotic event and hear some of the songs we listen to, you can thank composers like John Philip Sousa and Aaron Copeland with creating the songs that unite us as Americans. We hope you had fun. If you've got ideas or questions for our next craftery, send them our way. Keep crafting, keep learning, and keep celebrating land of the free and home of the brave. Shall we go again? 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for watching. You know we've got more episodes, right? Watch the whole series on our website. And parents, you can subscribe at pragerukids.com.